This is your transfer update.
Right, big breaking news from Manchester United. They have got their man. Carlos Baleba has signed on the dotted line. It's a deal worth £70 million from Brighton, made up of £65 million guaranteed fee plus £5 million in add-ons. He's joined on a 5-year deal, includes the option of a further year as well. He's only 22, remember. He's currently not available, though, due to being injured. He picked that up in pre-season. But Sky Sports News understands he could be back by mid-September. This is what he's had to say. It's an incredible feeling to join the club of my dreams. Playing at Old Trafford is always special, but the opportunity to do so as a Manchester United player will be a real honour. I cannot wait to work with Michael Carrick. His experience and knowledge of the game make him the perfect coach to help me to reach the highest level. The ambition of everyone at the club is extremely clear. The future is hugely exciting. I'm determined to play my part in delivering the success that we are capable of together. Now, Jason Wilcox, who, of course, is the director of football at Manchester United, said this: Carlos is an elite midfielder with immense potential to develop further. He brings a unique combination of qualities that will really complement our squad. Delighted to further strengthen our midfield with an addition of another established senior international with a proven track record of performing in the Premier League. Rob and Anton are obviously still with me. So let's just get your reaction. This is kind of what Manchester United needed, wasn't it? I mean, certainly we were talking at the weekend, they needed reinforcement after that disappointing defeat against Hull. This is what they need. Look,
this has been a long-term chase for Manchester United. They've been interested in Baleba for more than 12 months now, and I think there was some criticism of Baleba last season and how he was performing for Brighton. I think he had his head turned. I think he knew Manchester United were in for him and he wanted to go there. That's not great for Brighton fans, but I think it's very good for Manchester United fans. I think he brings an extra bit of physicality in that Manchester United midfield. After Casemiro left, with Manuel Ugarte having this serious knee injury, they were desperate for somebody like Baleba to come along. And I think it's a good bit of business for Manchester United. You look at Elliot Anderson going for £116 million. United were keen on him. They're interested in a lot of midfielders. And the price for midfielders this summer in the Premier League has been absolutely extraordinary. So to pay £65 million plus £5 million in add-ons for a 22-year-old who's already established as a Premier League regular, who's already a full international for his country as well, who can add that bite, I think that's a good bit of business from Manchester United. I think he could have a massive season for them.
And they were quoted 100 million this time last year for him. Yeah. So United, in terms of their long-term, they've looked at this and gone, he is a player that we really want, and he's available at a price that probably won't get any lower. If he has a good season, it'll go back up to 100 million. So we've got to act now. So it's actually smart for Manchester United. If they believe in the player, they've got to go and get him now at a price that they feel they can do business. Probably over other areas of the field where fans would want them to maybe strengthen as well. So it's interesting. But when you look at what United have put in their sort of, on their website today, they already said he's established himself as one of the most talented midfielders in the division. And then they go and quote some of the statistics from the 24-25 season. Don't mention necessarily last season, but they're writing that off. They don't see that as the player they're signing. They're seeing the player from the season before last, who was dominating midfield, bringing the ball forward. That's exactly what they want to bring, an element of dynamism to their midfield. They're really happy with their options now.
It's interesting, though, he is injured at the moment. We're telling everyone that we think that he could be back by mid-September. Is this a risk to buy an injured player?
I don't think. He's 22 years old. You know, he's signed a long-term contract. You're buying him for the future. His best years are ahead of him. There's absolutely no doubt about that. So, look, the way Manchester United are doing business at the moment is that they're trying to be very sober. They're trying to be very measured in the way they go about it. Last summer, the entire focus was on the forward line and attacking wide positions. Even though they knew they needed to strengthen the midfield, they don't have the finances to solve all of their problems in the squad at once. So last summer was all about sorting out the attacking areas. They'd identified that to actually get up the table, they needed to score more goals. Guess what? They scored more goals and it worked. They got Champions League football. They finished third in the Premier League. Now, this summer, the entire focus has been on the midfield. And I think they realised pretty quickly that the price of midfielders had gone through the roof. So they took their time. They let some of the other big clubs do some big business before they made their move. And they would definitely like a left back as well, more cover for Luke Shaw. I don't think they can afford it this summer. And so they've tried to prioritise the most important positions. They've tried to buy players who have future value that are going to improve while they're at their time under Michael Carrick. And Baleba fits that bill absolutely, doesn't he? His best years are ahead of him. Once he's fit, he'll be a regular for Manchester United. I can honestly see that. And there's competition for places in the middle of midfield now as well, when you look at it. Yeah. So I think it's a very, very good signing. I don't think the fact that he's injured for a short term, it's not a serious one, It'd be frustrating because Carrick will want to get him straight in, but in a month's time, he'll be very much part of the squad.
OK, let's find out what Mikel Silvestre thinks of this, because he's been on the red carpet, of course, at the PFA Awards alongside Dan Kahn. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Was looking to add some steel in midfield, and it makes sense to go for also someone who knows the Premier League, who's been doing really well in the past with Brighton. So yes, he's been injured lately, but I think it's a good buy. I'm not sure about the numbers, but it's somebody that will grow with the other players. It's still a young crowd in midfield, except for Tielemans. So I think it's a good addition. And hopefully it will be impactful very soon with the team.
Well, as you're hearing from the guys, it's a player that they really wanted. Dan Kahn was across this story and was asking those questions to Mikel Silvestre there in Manchester on the red carpet, and joins us now live. Dan, this is a great one for Manchester United. How excited can the fans get about this?
Yeah, good evening, Vicky. Look, I think this was quite an important signing for Manchester United. When you consider, yes, they have Yuri Tielemans and yes, Andre Santos, it still felt like they were missing that steel in midfield, and not just the physical attributes Carlos Baleba will offer, but someone who can really drive in that midfield with the ball, who can push it through the lines. I think people forget just how effective Baleba can be through an offensive side of the game, not just defensively. What can he offer that team as well? And he also opens up all of the midfield combinations as well. I think you can see plenty more possibilities with the likes of him next to Kobbie Mainoo or Tielemans, or even, you know, a bit more steel next to Santos as well. So this is a player they have long admired, Vicky, someone all the way back from his Lille days, but they have continued to monitor. And look, I think that Baleba is someone they have, as I mentioned, admired, but they've had to pivot this window from maybe other signings that didn't quite work out, but Baleba has always been a constant. I think at the end of the window, they have made a decision here, though, to strengthen the midfield over maybe left back. I think at the moment it could be unlikely we see a left back before the end of the window at this moment in time, unless there's more departures. But right now, Carlos Baleba, a huge addition for Michael Carrick's side, although we might not see him until the middle of September or maybe October, but a huge signing nevertheless, Vicky.
Certainly is. Dan Kahn, thank you so much for joining